Hi there, this is Dana Arcuri from danaarcuri.com, and I am an author, speaker, and wellness advocate, and today's topic is a great way to end 2019, and the topic is expose narcissists and flying monkeys. So we have to understand that there's various abusive people out there. Some of them are narcissists. Some of them are flying monkeys, but we have to understand there's also people who may not fall into those categories, and yet they are very abusive. And so, if you've been battling someone who has been malicious, gaslighting, manipulative, and seeking to intentionally harm you in any way, it's time to consider a few important things. The first one is this person threatening you? Now, threats are serious, especially when someone's threatening our safety and our lives. So if someone is threatening you, today you're going to want to stay tuned. You might want to even take some notes, because this one is all about building your case in case you go to court. All right, so here we go. If someone is stalking you, mobbing you, verbally abusive, psychologically abusive, and they're threatening you, maybe it's through emails, maybe it's text messages, maybe it's some smear campaigns and retaliation on social media, or what have you. Abuse is still abuse. It's illegal, and you can't seek local authorities and help, even seeking some attorneys and some legal advice that may help you in the future if you choose to take action. And so the one thing we have to understand about toxic people is they think they can walk all over us. They think that we're just a punching bag. They think that we're just going to take it lying down. Well, we have some new tricks up our sleeve. And so today, this is what it's all about. But we have to first start with abuse. Because abuse is illegal, and it is something in which you can seek help, you need to understand first, what is abuse? So, here we go. According to medicaldictionary.com, abuse is defined as any action that intentionally harms or injures any person. And we have to understand there's physical abuse, verbal abuse, there's psychological abuse, sexual abuse, spiritual abuse, and the list just goes on because there's so much abuse in this world. We need to understand, this is really important, people. In the USA, all forms of abuse are illegal and have the potential to carry criminal penalties. This is in your favor. This is why you want to start documenting everything. And we have to understand that psychological abuse, it includes the threats, it includes violence, harassment, the gaslighting, the smear campaigns, stalking you, and the list can go on and on. So we're going to talk about different ways that you could start preparing for the future of the unknown. So here it is. We don't know what's going to happen 1 month, 1 year, 2 years down the road with these toxic people. And even if we go no contact, it doesn't mean that they stop contacting us. I found out through my own experience that stalkers and people who are malicious continue to email me, send me videos, send me pictures, text message. They love smearing my name all over social media because they want to intentionally and purposefully destroy me and my reputation and my career. And so I myself have had to take some serious steps of documentation, because you never know when you're going to land in court. So here we go on some important things. Abusive people have two sides to them. They appear to the world as charming people. They may seem trustworthy to many people who know them. Maybe their coworkers, maybe their family, their friends, their neighbors, their church. People think they're an upright citizen, But what they don't know about what goes on behind those closed doors is that this person is a sociopath, is a toxic, hateful individual who I call a subhuman. And next we have to understand that, they're masters of manipulation, whether it is someone who's a flying monkey or whether it is just someone who's just toxic. Maybe they're not narcissistic, but they're just toxic. We have to understand that they are going to put on this front in which a lot of people are going to be fooled. And there you are thinking, why can't anyone understand what I'm going through? And you're trying to explain yourself maybe to some family or maybe to some friends or your partner, and you're trying to explain all the three-ring circus that's coming down and the craziness that's happening and all the things that these malicious people are doing to you. And some might say, well, they seem like a nice person. Oh, of course they seem like a nice person. The narcissist and anyone who's toxic, they have this Jekyll and Hyde type of personality. So oftentimes, their coworkers only see the good side. They don't see the spiteful, hateful, vengeful person. No. And next we have to understand that the purpose of exposing these toxic people, it's to protect ourselves. It's to protect our reputation. It's to improve our boundaries. It's to really start thinking about the future and that there is an uncertainty on what the future will bring. And based on some of our experiences in the past, we question what's coming our way in the future. And so we want to start documenting and building a case. Even if it never goes to court, you will never ever waste your time by documenting when someone's maliciously lashing out to you, when they're sending you profanity, whether it's coming to your door and face-to-face, all kind of fights and quarrels, or any kind of maliciousness in any form of communication. We have to understand we don't know if they will cross the line, and that is why we're preparing today to document everything. And so what we need to do is, number one, we're going to be consistent. You are going to get yourself a tablet, a journal, something that has many, many pages, because you have a lot of writing to do. And every single time you receive a suspicious email, suspicious text message, you might look at the number, you might look at the email, and it's not familiar. It's an alias account. Don't be fooled. What happens is these toxic people don't want to be found out. And so they have countless alias accounts, and they might have an alias email, an alias account on Facebook, an alias account on Twitter. They are the great believers, make believers, the whole putting on a mask and trying to fool everyone. So when you receive, whether it's the text message, the phone call, the letter in the mail, the email, whatever, you're going to save it. You're going to save everything. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to build awareness around you, because this awareness around you, it's to protect you. You're going to wake up to all the things that are suspicious. It doesn't mean that you start fearing for your life unless there really is grave danger and you have every reason to fear for your life. Again, I have that motto, trust your gut intuition. If your gut instincts have a red, flashing, something's wrong, danger, danger, listen to it. It's not fooling you. It's for real. Your gut instinct is telling you something's not right. Trust your instinct, because something's not right. Next is you're going to have evidence now, and this evidence may be used someday in the future against the abusive person or persons. And what you're going to do is you're going to have to someday possibly gain evidence to prove your case, if it would ever go to court, if you ever would have to go to the police or the FBI, you need this data, this information, the dates, the time, the description, what happened, what did they say, what was the picture, or what was the email, or what was whatever they sent to you. Did they send you hate mail? Did they send you a box of something, maybe a dead bird? You need to write down everything. Write it down. It's documentation for the future. Next, we have to understand that you're going to document the emails, the text messages, the Facebook messages, all social media, across the board, wherever you are. Phone calls, smear campaigns on social media, confrontations that might be online or face-to-face, and any comments that just might kind of show up. You know, maybe somewhere out of nowhere you noticed someone wrote a really nasty comment on your social media page. You don't know who it is because you don't recognize the name or the picture. Trust me, good chance it's the abuser. They're just using an alias account. This is so common. I can't tell you how common it is. I can't even tell you how many numbers. I mean, 20, 30, 40 alias accounts. I mean, it is really psychologically disturbing that someone would create that many alias accounts. You have to wonder, how many other abusers do they have? And how do they keep track of all their alias accounts? Okay, next we have to understand that it's really important that you do a screenshot of everything that comes through. So just say you're scrolling through a social media page, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, what have you, and you see that one of the abusers or someone wrote something nasty to you. It might be a threat. It might be just something really rude, very outspoken. It might be someone calling you names, you know, the whole name calling, the blaming, the naming, the just terrible, terrible, vicious words. You're going to screenshot everything. You're going to compile all of this together as evidence. If someone threatens you, if there's slander, if there's gossip, if there's any kind of attacks, you need to keep documenting. I mean, this could go on for a long time. This might not be something that's just 1 or 2 months. This might be something that might be more like over 1 year, over 2 years. You know, it depends on your situation, but you need to be smart and you need to really be aware of anything that seems out of the ordinary, and, you know, don't blow it off because it might be the abuser just using an alias account or an alias email. You need to really start tracking this and saving everything. Okay, next is videotaping. Oh, what joy that is. So here we go. There might be a situation where someone who is the abusive, toxic person confronts you. It might be face-to-face. It might be they're at a longer distance. You get your camera out. You get your cell phone out. You push that button because you need to, number one, catch everything they say so it's audible. And you don't necessarily have to capture their image, like say their face. You could always take the phone and turn it downwards and face maybe just their legs or their body. You don't necessarily have to capture their face. But the whole point is you're going to videotape every single word they say to you. So if they're threatening you, if they're maliciously gaslighting you, whatever they say, it is going to be used against them in the future. There was a situation that had come down recently, and I had this one particular relative who I've been in contact with for 9 years, and she decided to start attacking my son. He's a grown adult. So she starts texting him, threatening him. She starts getting pushy. She's a bully. She's extremely nasty, started having profanity, really getting ugly, very, very, very cruel behaviors. And the bottom line is this: He made it clear to her he has boundaries. He made it clear, you are not welcome in my home. You will not step a foot in my home. And so don't even bother, because if you do, I may call the police. And what happened was she came a knocking. Oh yeah, she doesn't care. Do you understand? So people don't care, these abusive people. You know, the narcissists, the flying monkeys, they don't care. If you set out this long list of boundaries and they overstep it and they overstep it and they're disrespecting you, you need to document this, because you're going to use this against them. And so what my son did when she turned up on his doorstep, he stepped outside and he politely said to her, we had this conversation. You are not welcome here. You will not step a foot in my home. And she started gaslighting him. She started getting nasty with him. She started doing, oh my God, this is great, the victim card. So what happens is the narcissist loves to use the victim card. Oh, woe is me. They call themselves, oh, they're the victim. Oh, poor them. And they carry on. And then they have suddenly, are you ready? Amnesia. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I never got that message. I never got that text message. I don't know what you're talking about. Long story short, my brilliant son, boom, 2 thumbs up, wise young man, videotaped the entire malicious conversation, the whole, the victim shaming, the oh pity party, and the amnesia, and the gaslighting, and all the crazy profanity. He captured it all on video. And so if he ever needs it, he has it. And I really think the way things have been going with this particular vicious relative, oh, we're going to need it in the future. Absolutely. So never hesitate to pull out your phone and start videotaping the people who are abusers. It is extremely important. Don't worry about the laws. Don't worry about, people are like, oh no, in such and such a state, you're not allowed to video without their consent. You know what? This could be life or death, because what if this person ends up pulling a gun out on you? What if this person ends up attacking you, physically attacking you? I'm telling you, right now, everything about what's going on, it's not okay. And so we have to step it up. We have to protect ourselves, because we don't know what's coming down the road. And oftentimes, these abusers are not just psychologically abusive. They're not just bullies, but they're violent people. Next is that when and if the person who is abusive crosses the line, and when they cross the line, that means they physically touch you, whether they push you, slap you, dig their fingernails in you, whether they anything, body slam you, the list is long, whatever. It crossed the line. That's it. Once someone physically puts their hands on you, it's physical abuse. It's time now to call the police. And so if someone is threatening you, you need to call the police. If someone is physically harming you and also sexually assaulting you or harassing you, stalking you, sending you these letters saying, I'm going to kill you if you don't do ABC, you better shut up. So here we go. We're not going to shut up. Expose the narcissist. Don't be silent. Do not be silent. Silence won't save you. Next is you may need to get a restraining order. You may need to contact an attorney. You may need to seek legal counsel. You definitely need to keep your documentation for that time when perhaps the abuser does cross the line, and you cannot let this go. You cannot just sit back and let them do this. And again, it's illegal. Again, in the USA, all forms of abuse are illegal and have the potential to carry criminal penalties. This was on medicaldictionary.com. So we have to understand that abuse is abuse. We're not going to tolerate it. We're going to document everything. We're going to take screenshots. We're going to take videos if necessary. We're compiling all our evidence. And if someone crosses the line, or, this is important, if you feel unsafe for any reason, you need to call the local authorities. If you feel unsafe, you need to take action. And so today, let's remember that safety is important. And one way to be safe now, you're not going to let the abusive person know what you're doing. You're not going to tell them what you're doing. You're not going to write it or threaten them or like do a little retaliation against them. No, you're not going to tell them anything. Shh, keep it confidential. And you're going to do your work. Work hard, collect your evidence, document everything, and when necessary, call the local authorities and the FBI. I will leave the links down below for the stalking, the bullying, the abuse, and so forth. And in the meanwhile, you have yourself a safe and happy holidays, and I will see you in the new year. If you'd like to tell me your own stories about maybe when someone did cross the line, feel free. Is someone sending you malicious messages? Are you getting like weird emails from people you don't know? If so, tell me all about it, and you could visit me at danaarcuri.com. Bye-bye.